Mississippi. And today we're diving into the background of the inaugural Keath Killebrew Memorial Rodeo. It's presented by Killebrew Ag Foundation. It's benefiting scholarships for aspiring young farmers. It's happening July 28th through the 29th at the Mississippi Coliseum in Jackson. And joining us is Alyssa Killebrew and Shae Whitfield to tell us a little bit more. Hey, guys. Hey. And so move over, Dixie National, because we got a new rodeo in town. And I say move over as in just scoot over and make a little room, because there's plenty of weekends. There's plenty of roping and rodeo and to go around. And this is just an added. So, Alyssa, I'm going to start with you, because this is kind of y'all's brainchild with the Ag Foundation. How did all of this come about?
So, Rebecca, I got a call from my dear friend, someone who had actually introduced me to my husband. His name is Matt Ginn. He is a Mississippian. And he said, let's do something really special to honor Keath. Keath was my husband of 20 years, and he was the love of my life. And I wanted to do something to celebrate him and also something to memorialize who he was as a person. Keath was not a man who was born with a silver spoon. He worked hard day and night to create everything that we have as a family. And so we are honoring him with a memorial rodeo. It's at the Coliseum, and it is an international rodeo, which is very different from anything that we've ever had in Mississippi. We're going to have bull riding and bull fighting and bull poker. We've also got our Mississippi-owned Chapel Hart coming to sing, and we've got Drake Milligan, that adorable Elvis impersonator. He's going to come and sing on Saturday. So we are just tickled to death to get to be a part of something so wonderful. My family is all tickled and excited and getting decorations ready and getting their clothes ready. And we're really, really excited about this awesome, epic event.
I was on the website for your Killebrew Ag Foundation, and I love where you said Keath lived life like he was preparing for a bull ride. And I thought, well, that's a great, I don't know Keath, but that is a great sort of representation of that. There's a lot of ways to memorialize someone, but a rodeo is a big sort of event to sort of take on. So how, when you had the idea, like kind of what happened next, how do you put a rodeo together?
Well, I have an amazing community of people that are standing behind us. Sandy Gibson is also our partner, and so half the proceeds will go to the State Fairground Fund. All the people over at the fairground and at the ag community have all stood behind this, and they're all in. And so that's how you do it with community. Me alone, I never could have done this by myself, but this is an example that as a community, we can do anything.
We can do anything, especially whenever it strikes a chord with giving back in a way that this one is set up to do, then it's easy to sort of get behind. So, Shae, you're a local farmer, but you're also helping with the organization of it all. How did you first hear about this idea for the Memorial Rodeo?
Alyssa called me up. Keath was one of my best friends. We've been friends for years and years. Great guy, loved him to death. And Alyssa called me up and said, hey, can you help out with this? I didn't realize, I don't think, what I was signing on for when I said yes. She kind of said, okay, you're the sponsorship director, run with it. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. So it's been raising money for that, and it's just a great thing that we're raising money for. To talk a little bit about the farming issue of it, the way you get in farming now is either to be born into it or marry into it. It costs so much money to get started now. If you don't have $1 million or can get credit for at least $1 million, you really can't get started. And this is an opportunity through the foundation and the school that's going to be started from it to help young folks that want to be involved in farming but don't have the financial means to get there, to get a start. They'll be able to learn through the Killebrews farm in Chula, Mississippi. They'll be able to be under the tutorship of Keith's twin brother, Heath, who is an amazing individual. He can handle more things at once than anybody I've ever seen. He will be helping. There'll be several others involved in it that will basically walk them through this intern program. And when it is done, they'll be ready to go to a bank and be able to get a loan because they have experience, they have the land, they have hopefully a little nest egg by then that they can get started and not have to worry about being able to get the funds to do it.
So, Shae, you're a local farmer. Where do you farm?
I farm in Hinds County, northern Hinds County, just outside of Clinton. Part of my place is in the Clinton city limits, and part of it's just north of there. And we raise cattle and a few pigs and chickens.
So were you born into it, or did you marry into it?
I was born into it. Matter of fact, my place has been in my family since 1824.
Wow.
My kids are the 7th generation on our farm.
Did you have an option to be a farmer?
Oh, yes. And I'm not a full-time farmer. I have a day job as well. And this is one of the things that I kind of do on the side and look forward to retirement where I can go into doing this full-time.
Do you feel like there would be more young folks that would be interested in farming? Because I know working on behalf of dairy farmers for so long, that was one of the hardest things, was to find some. They may have been born into it, but it's hard work, and sort of sticking with it is sort of hard. The financial burden, if you can remove that, do you feel like there are more willing young folks that have the energy and the insight and the inspiration to come into ag?
Most definitely, because you look in the ag sector, there's a lot of young people that get out of college and they go to working for an ag chemical supplier or a tractor dealership or different things like that they would love to farm, but they don't have the means to do it and the access. And, they're not against the work. They just don't have the ability to jump in there. And that's what we're really hoping to take, those few special people that just really want to farm and make it happen, because it's not for everybody. It's hard work.
Right. And it's a gamble.
Yes. Well, that's the thing. You're risking everything you have every year. And, there's ways to mitigate some of that risk, but you're still risking a lot every year for not a great return. You've got to love it. It's not something, you can make a good living at it, don't get me wrong, but you're not.
You got a lot on the line,
You got a lot on the line.
It's a sobering statistic to hear. You need basically like $1 million line of credit or whatever it may be to be able to start a farm. And when thinking about our precious dairy farm families, you need more than that to start one from complete scratch, for sure.
And the other thing we've got to look at as a nation is the average age of a farmer is over 60 years old now. Somebody's got to produce the food and fiber that we have just taken for granted in this country, that there's going to be food at the grocery store. There's going to be clothes at the store when we go to buy them. We've got to realize that, hey, if we don't do something, those people are going to age out. And, I think they'll still be farmers, but it may be corporate farmers. It may be more Walmart running dairies. I know they're doing that now. It may be that kind of thing. And do we really want the corporations handling our food supply from start to finish?
No, we still want our local farm families definitely with their hands involved, if they want to be, right? Like, at least to have that option.
And this is a way to do that, Rebecca, with this school. This is the true meaning of sustainability, is teaching our younger generation how to farm. I believe, just like Shae said, that there's so many young people that want to go into this field, but they just don't have the money or the know-how. And so with this school, we plan to take children through an 18-month internship where they
What's the age when you say children?
Age probably 18
Still
to
child.
an adult. It doesn't matter whatever age they are. If they want to learn how to farm, we want to accept them in this school. And it's going to be right on the land where my beautiful husband and his brother started in Horseshoe, Mississippi. My husband used to say, my superpower is that I have a twin. It's like we can divide and conquer. And so when he passed away, I looked at my brother-in-law and I said, if we don't create new memories and create something new out of this, it's going to kill me. And so we came together on this plan, helping young people learn how to farm in Mississippi.
And then turn around and hopefully they sow those seeds right back here in Mississippi,
Absolutely.
Which is agriculture, if you don't know, is like our number one industry here in our state.
And there is no better person to lead this than Heath, because he and Keath started from nothing. He has the experience. Now, they were born into a farming family, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like they were handed 1,000 acres and a ready-made operation and said, go run it. They had to start with nothing.
Just like you did with the rodeo, and we'll get into that and more coming up next podcast. But to catch the inaugural Keath Killebrew Memorial Rodeo, which is presented by Killebrew Ag Foundation, you're going to have to come out to the Mississippi Coliseum, and that's going to be July 28th through the 29th. And Rhino, is that our Chapel Hart ladies bringing us in? I thought I recognized those wonderful voices. They will be headlining on Friday. I'm going to get you line up.
Friday, July 28th.
Friday, July 28th. And they have graciously, that's Alyssa Killebrew, and we have Shae Whitfield, a local farmer who's also helping to put this on or organize it all, a pair of tickets. So you guys are going to have us a question, so we have a chance for you to win a pair of tickets. The 13th person who texts in the right answer will win a pair, and we'll make sure you get connected with Shae to make sure that you get your tickets. So what's the question, Alyssa?
I would like to know, what is the largest crop farmed in Mississippi?
All right, the largest crop farmed in Mississippi. If you know that answer, the 13th correct answer will win a pair of tickets for the coming up weekend, and we'll make sure that we get you connected with that. Would Keath have liked having all the trivia, and sort of sounds like he was just a fun guy that would have enjoyed this.
Such a fun guy. He would love this.
I would love knowing I had a rodeo memorialized after me.
He was incredibly humble, though, so, having his name on billboards and things, he may have
You would have never gotten him in this seat. I can guarantee you that. He was.
What about on the back of a bull playing poker?
There's a good chance of that.
Yes, yes, all the way.
So if you think the beloved Dixie National, which is the largest rodeo, I think this side of the Mississippi, if I remember the commissioner's tagline correctly, this is still different. Yes, there's going to be aspects of the rodeo, but the Killebrew Memorial Rodeo has a little different flavor. So when you're trying to explain, like, the fact that if you come to this, you'll see similarities, but there'll also be differences. Shae, what are those biggest differences?
Well, one thing we have here that most places don't have, we have bull poker.
What is that?
Bull poker is you have 4 people sitting at a card table, and in the middle of an arena, they turn a Mexican fighting bull loose.
Holy cow.
Is
legal?
Yes. I will not be in this event.
There's alcohol involved.
No, these people they're just crazy. Yeah. But I love to watch it. The last person sitting wins a cash prize. Whether the bull knocks the other 3 out of there or they run to get away, the last person sitting in their chair at that table wins.
Are there I guess the bull, they don't like to be called clowns.
Bullfighters.
Fighters.
Yes.
That's lethal. Sorry, Dixie Nationals. But the bullfighters, are they helping to encourage the situation and keep safe the situation, or is it just you let the bull free?
They are both. If the bull is not interested in the people sitting at the table, they will direct him towards the table. And then if the bull gets on one of them, they get the bull off of him. These guys, the bullfighters, are athletes. I mean, you think the greatest athletes we know all rolled up in one, that's what these bullfighters are.
Are they actually playing poker too? Is there a hand dealt and everything?
No, I don't think they're actually dealt a hand.
So this is like chicken on steroids.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And then we transition to there into the bullfights. The bullfights, think what you see in Mexico or Spain, but the bull doesn't die at the end of it.
Thank God.
So,
but the player may.
Yeah, but the bull gets better every time. The bull has a chance to learn how to come back and get better at his craft the next night when he fights again. So it's a totally different deal than the Mexican bull fights, but I think it's better because the bull is more experienced.
So what you're telling me is this is completely new entertainment for the Mississippi Coliseum.
Yes.
Never been done before.
And it's an actual rodeo, because I think I heard the commissioner saying there's like 150,000 on, for the winners, like the men and women. So, I mean, it's a legit.
And it is also an international rodeo. We were talking today, we have cowboys and cowgirls coming from Canada, Brazil, Australia, think maybe even Cuba. So, I mean, we've got them coming from all over the world to Jackson, Mississippi for an international rodeo. One other thing we will have that will be more spectator involved, we have the Pen of Adrenaline at this rodeo. I don't know that that's ever been done in Jackson before. During the bull riding, we will put a pen up in the middle of the arena, and people can buy tickets to get in that pen to watch it up close and personal. I will be there.
It's like a shark. It's like being in a shark cage.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
It's just like a shark
But
cage.
is it a shark cage? Because I trust that shark cage more than some pin that you're putting up in the middle of the arena.
Well, do you have enough faith that
No.
little panel is going to stop 2,000 pounds of Mad Bull coming at you?
But that would be a heck of a place to be, is in the stands watching that, who willingly walk down there and sort of do it.
But it's going to be a great time. I mean, this is going to be a huge rodeo that I am really excited about. We've got some of the best rodeo crew, the promoters of it that are putting on the rodeo. They are a tremendous, tremendous group of people. And I just can't wait. I hope everybody comes out and sees it.
I think this is something that people are going to really just take to something new and different, but yet similar enough that you kind of know what you're walking into, but then you don't. But so with your ticket on Friday or Saturday night, does that also get you in with the concert? Because I feel like with the Dixie National, it does. So just making sure that people know if they get the ticket for that, they'll also get the concerts. So what's the time frame from it? What time does I guess the gates opens or doors open?
Gates open at 6, and then the rodeo starts at 7. Concert starts at 9.
And then, you have either a Friday or Saturday night completely booked and ready to go. What event are you looking forward to, Miss Alyssa?
All of them. I love excitement. So I went with Keath to the Angola Rodeo. And when Mac approached me about this rodeo, I said, well, I just want to outdo the Angola Rodeo. He said, I think we can do it. So this is all the same aspects of Angola, but it's going to be bigger.
We have a winner chicken dinner. Robert from Jackson won the tickets. So Robert from Jackson, you need to text in your email address to the C Spire text line, and I will get that to Shae, and he will email you and let you know how that goes down. But what's the correct answer?
Soybeans. Well, actually, it may be forestry, but we're not really counting that. We're talking about one.
Well, you may have to give another pair of tickets to someone who said forestry if they were number 13 there on that way. But regardless, they're both really big industries here in Mississippi, and we hope this is going to be a really big ongoing, not just inaugural rodeo, but ongoing and going. And you also have a hat that you wanted to give away as well. So if someone wants to win a Killebrew Ag Foundation hat, give me another trivia that Keath would have liked.
What is the average age of a farmer in the United States?
You already said that earlier, so
exactly. So they ought to be paying attention.
See if they were paying attention. But we'll keep it short this time to Keith's favorite number, which you shared with us, Alyssa, which is number 2. So be the second person with that one. And we like people who come in with swag to give away, so we totally appreciate that. But again, this all goes back. So if you make the effort to come out and support this, you're also supporting the future of ag in Mississippi. I know, Alyssa, that's the heartbeat of all of this. The event's fun. Yes. But then that's also the heartbeat. When will y'all have your first cohort of farmers coming through?
We're planning within the next 2 years to have the school up and running. That's our projection.
We got Bubba from Meridian. 2 came in with 60. That's close enough.
Good
so we'll
job.
give you Bubba from Meridian. You got the hat. So give us somewhere to mail it. We'll get it in the mail for you for that. So I appreciate you guys all not tuning in, but also chiming in. That makes it a whole lot of fun. I think this is wonderful. Alyssa, I can't imagine you're not the only person who's ever lost a loved one too soon. How do you find the strength to carry on, not only obviously their memory, but really in a really big way? Because this has to be equally hard at the same time for you and your family.
My Christian faith is what keeps me going, honestly, and I have such a beautiful community of supporters and family and God, really.
Which I think wraps into rodeo and farm life and all the things, Shae. If there is somebody who's like, man, I've really thought about farming, or maybe I've got a kid who's really interested in it, but everything you mentioned, Shae, are roadblocks that would keep them from doing it. Obviously, the foundation's one way to sort of look, but that'll be for a limited number. Are there better resources? What would you say for those?
One of our sponsors for this is the Mississippi Farm Bureau, which right beside us over here. Get in touch with somebody there. They have lots of resources to be able to help somebody get involved and to put you together with people like us that are doing these kind of programs. And I don't know of any exactly like this one anywhere, but there are some internships at different things that could be available. So, start there.
And how important is it to read our labels and support local farmers?
Very, thank you so much for saying that, because it is, we're dealing with the fake meat stuff now and all. And my one promotion will be find your local farmer, buy a side of beef from them.
Absolutely. Even if everybody listening just did that once all year.
That would make a huge impact.
That would make a huge impact. As well as coming and enjoying the Keath Killebrew Memorial Rodeo. That's July 28th and 29th. You can get your tickets online, but you also get them at the box office there at Jackson. And I can't wait to have y'all back for the second annual. All right, you guys stick with us. We got more for you.